Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Bit of a foggy start to the day, which would be great if I was a forest or woodland photographer, but considering there's about 4 trees in the whole of Shetland, not the strongest of days to be going and taking some photos. However, I have heard that there is a whale that has made its way into one of the inlets of Shetland, so we're going to go and see if we can try and take a photo of that today. But before that, the dog needs walked. Clearing up a bit, looking a bit more positive. Maybe we will get some photos after all. It's not a bad view for your morning walk, is it? So whale photography is not really a genre of photography that I've ever done much of before. So I'm thinking, what do I need to go and try and take some pictures of a whale? Well, the poor guy is not going to be in the best of conditions, especially if he's coming in to sadly die. So I don't want to disturb him too much. So I'm not going to take my GoPro or my Insta360 so that it takes video under the water, because that wouldn't be fair. But this is probably the most zoom lens I have. This is the Tamron 28-200. I don't have anything that goes and zooms in further than this. But probably the best thing for taking photos of whales is drone. This is a Mavic Mini, and this is what I use. The only problem with this is it doesn't take raw photos, which means that the photos that you take can't really do all that much with. But photos are fine, and we'll see. Maybe we can get some decent pictures of a whale. And let's hope for better days for the whale. Let's hope he makes it, pulls through, and goes back out to the sea to join the rest of his whales. So we've made it down here. The weather is a little bit changeable. I don't know if you can see, if I zoom in here, the whale is in the background down there, just behind that house. So try and get the drone up, see if we can get some shots of the whale. But never seen a sperm whale like this before. We're rooting for you, big guy. Exciting this week. I'd never seen a sperm whale before. It's always been that kind of picture of, you know, the stereotypical whale as the sperm whale from things like Moby Dick. But ultimately, quite a sad story that the whale seemed stuck. An update to that is that they've managed to get the whale out of the Brough and out towards the sea. They actually wonder if the whale was scared in here by an earthquake. There was a small earthquake, actually woke my wife up. I slept all the way through it. But there was an earthquake in Shetland, or it was in the sea off Norway, but it was felt in Shetland, and they wondered if something like that scared the whale in. And while it was in, it got stuck. It wasn't able to get past the shallow water and get back out to sea. So the different environmental and wildlife groups up here were able to assist the whale out. There's some really cool footage that you can see of that on Instagram. Worth checking out. I'll link it as you can see within the video. But what I did with this was,
I took various photos, as you can see, of the whale while it was on the shore, but you can only really see a little bit of that. So I thought it was worthwhile sending the drone up and having a look from above. It gives you more of an idea of what the whale actually looked like in the scale. And you could see from here that the whale has actually had a bit of a hard time. I'm told that it beached itself on some of the rocks, and so you see some of the little scars within that. Now, I use a Mavic mini drone, which means it only takes JPEGs rather than RAW, so you don't get all the detail that you would get in a RAW file. So you can't really do all that much to it. But in this, I took the exposure down, I adjusted the highlights, took the shadows down, increased the whites and the blacks, added a little in the blue curve where I took the blues out of the shadows a bit. The greens and the reds, didn't do anything to that. And I added a simple S-curve. I took the temperature down a little bit to -10, again just to make it that blue kind of way. Added a little hint of magenta, as I often do. If you go to this, what you'll see is that in the blues, I just took the blues down a little touch in the hues to make them a little bit more cyan, but everything else I didn't really do that much adjustments to, as you can see. Within the effects, I did add a bit of texture just to bring out what the detail that was there within the whale. A little bit of clarity, a little bit of dehaze, and a tiny bit of a vignette. I mean, this is not the most exciting photo in the world, but I always like to edit one just so you can see how we'd edit it to go from this to this. But hey, it's not every day that you see a whale like a sperm whale just in so close to the shore. Hey, who knows what we'll see next week? But tune in next time for Shetland in 360. Have a great week.